Hello everyone, it's me, Chastity White Rose here, and I am streaming to Twitch. It's been a really long time since I've done a Twitch stream. A lot has been happening in life. There's some news I want to tell you all. News about books, news about career stuff. There's a lot of things going on right now. But first, happy Pride Month, everyone. Happy Pride 2025. Now you have to forgive my weird speech because my teeth no longer have a gap. You may remember my old videos where my teeth actually had a gap. That was before I had dental work done. And because all my life I've had a gap between my two front teeth, my TH sound we relied on there being a hole. So I can't say the TH sound anymore, which is really stupid. So I'm going to sound stupid for the rest of my life when I talk. But people make fun of me anyway. And I'm going to be talking about why people make fun of me, because the hatred of the LGBTQIA community is very real right now in this country. And if you are gay or transgender or asexual or intersex, you know what I'm talking about. If you are a member of my community, and this is the flag of our people, behind me is the progress flag. It is the flag of our people. I call them the rainbow people. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about Pride Month because I'm no expert in Pride Month, but here's how I understand. Pride Month is a time when we celebrate our diversity. Those of us who are different, we might be gay, we might be transgender, bisexual, whatever. We might be one of these things. Now, if you are cis straight and, Gracie, hello, thank you for joining, Gracie. My friend Gracie just joined the chat and did a heart emoji. Yeah, so if you happen to be a cis straight person who doesn't know anything about gay or transgender, and you're like, well, why are these people being that way? They don't get it because they were born straight. They are attracted to the opposite sex, and if they're cisgender, then they are just like, well, I was born with these genitals, therefore I'm this sex, and they identify as their body parts, basically. But anyway, I don't want to get into all that. The point is, the cis straights do not understand the rainbow people. They do not understand the LGBT community. They don't get us. And they never will. Not really. Now, some people are pretty chill. Like my mom is an ally. My mom is a huge ally to me, and she accepts me being whatever I am, even though she still can't figure out what I am. But hey, neither can I. Anyway, so because it's Pride Month, it's June of 2025, I have been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about what blog posts can I write? What videos can I record talking about some of this? And aside from Pride Month, there's a lot of things going on that have nothing to do with Pride Month. For example, career stuff. Okay, so I did not know this when I first signed up for Full Sail University, but apparently when you are about to graduate, and even after graduation, you have access to tools and career coaches, or career advisors, I believe they're actually called, that help you with things like job searching and creating a resume and stuff. And I just met with Mary Helen Norris, one of my career advisors, and she gave me some very, very helpful information today. Because I'm going to show you some things, but before I show you some things, I'm going to explain. There's this tool called Vmock. Now, Vmock is a website, and the website is basically an artificial intelligence tool that it reads your resume and gives you feedback on your resume. Now, the thing is, I'm very bad at resume creation. I'm not good at it. It's not something I've practiced most of my life, but I'm slowly getting better. So I talked with Mary Helen Norris today, and she gave me some very helpful information. She gave me 5 main tips to improve my resume. So I'm going to switch to desktop mode. Um, I, I could switch to desktop mode, or I could just read them from the text file. Okay, I'm going to switch to desktop mode because it's the easiest way. So I'm going to switch to the view of my desktop. Here's OBS Studio. And I'm going to open, I have this document here in Notepad, just regular Microsoft Notepad. So the first note she gave me is work experience should just be experience. So on my resume, it said it had a section for work experience, but she says it should just say experience because that's what the AI is looking for. And I had skills and applications, and she said it should just be skills. That's because there are certain exact headers that the AI is looking for when it reads a resume. And so if there's extra words or extra characters, then it's not going to quite get it. And then also reduced to 1 page. Now, here's the thing. I did not like this because I don't like that resumes have to be so short because I'm long-winded, both in my writing and speaking, in case you can't tell. But for the purpose of AI reading it, what Mary Helen Norris and I discussed was that a person needs to have an AI-friendly resume in order to get it past the filter so that when you apply for a job and upload a resume, which is usually a step, the AI has to think your resume is good. Otherwise, a human will not even see your resume. So here's what you do, people. You have to make a 1-page resume to so that the AI will like it. And then once you have an interview with a real human, then you present your 2 or 3-page resume with your more detailed skills and your full work history. So that's my plan, people. So I reduced it to 1 page after she suggested that. And she said to remove the summary section. Now, here's what's interesting about it. I actually did remove it, but I was still at 2 pages. So then I removed other information until I was at 1 page. And then I saw that there was still room to include the summary and yet still keep it 1 page. So I removed it, but then I added it back in. So that was the only piece of advice. I'm going to put 3 question marks next to this because um, Mary thought that because it was, it would remove, 3 or 4 lines from my resume to help it get under the page limit, but I added it back in after I got down to 1 page. And she recommended removing the incomplete degree program for the AI. So I had previously had my incomplete program for game business and esports science on my resume, but I have since removed it. Now, I had originally included it because of the fact that, you know, that program, I still went through those courses. I still learned a lot, even though I'm not going to get a degree in game business and esports science. And that's okay. My degree is creative writing, so that's what it is. So I was fine with removing the incomplete program. I had a specific reason I included it, but it's not that big of a deal, not really. So I took all of the advice that she gave me. And also, this link here is something that I'm going to check out later personally on my own time. But Jane Friedman has tips about promoting your work and stuff. So that's going to be about marketing and promoting your books and stuff. So I'm going to look more at that in detail when I'm not recording. And then I have the time of my next appointment with Mary here. So this is just a text file of notes, and I wanted to share this because this was helpful information that I wrote down in this plain text file while I was on the Zoom meeting with Mary. So anyway, now I can close that, now that I've explained that. And the reason I'm recording, oh, Gracie has some feedback here. Oh, I see. Gracie has feedback. Okay. Okay, first of all, I'm going to switch back to the camera-only view here, and I'm going to go through some of the feedback that Gracie has given me. Agree. ATS scan keywords. This is all true. One-page resume, one-page cover letter, one-page application letter, one-page recommendations, sometimes a writing sample, LinkedIn profile URL. Even if it's incomplete, refer to it as a working degree. Excellent information. Thank you for raising awareness, and happy Pride Month. Thank you, Gracie. I'm sharing this information about resume creation because this has been extremely helpful. I have Zoom meetings occasionally with my career advisor, and she teaches me, things that I can do to improve my resume. And I'm sure there's more things she'll teach me too in the future. But I'm sharing this information. Let me say this. The reason I'm sharing this information about how to make an ATS friendly resume is because I know that the LGBTQIA plus community has a greater difficulty finding jobs than other people. I have faced discrimination. Now, it's not just because I'm transgender and weird looking. Part of it is that I didn't know how to write a good resume. But here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that by teaching people how to increase your chances of getting employment by having a good resume, I'm hoping to help the rainbow people as well as anybody else who wants to absorb this information. I want to help people be able to get jobs just as my career advisors are doing for me. They're trying to give me information that will help me get a writing related job, perhaps. So I'm just sharing on information because being able to get jobs is important. So writing a resume, cover letter, whatever you have to do is important. And you have to know, oh, and Gracie says, you're not weird looking, you're fucking perfect. Well, thank you, Gracie. Thank you. Oh, also, this progress flag behind me is, of course, one that I designed in Inkscape, and I had it as my Zoom background. I've had it as my Zoom background in all my Zoom meetings. And apparently, I looked so good with this progress flag behind me that my career coaches took a few pictures, and I have since posted them to my social media so that people can kind of rate the pictures. So thank you, Gracie. I mean, I do look good with a rainbow. Plus, hey, my hair is looking pretty good today. I feel like. But anyway, enough about how I look because that's not the important thing. Now, people are judged by appearance, and another piece of advice that this isn't from my career advisors, but this is from other advice on YouTube because I've been listening to videos on this topic. Don't include a picture of yourself on a resume because if you do, then people will judge it by appearance. Now, the machine won't judge you by your appearance because it can't, because it's a machine, but a human has biases and prejudice. So if you are visibly transgender, or if you're black, for instance, and you have a profile picture on your resume, you're probably not going to get hired. You're probably not going to get called for an interview because people are racist. People are transphobic. So that's another piece of information I just thought I'd pass on. I'm trying to be helpful here. Anyway, so now that I've explained a little bit about why I'm making a resume, how I've learned this information, I want to show you the results. I want to show you how much higher my resume score is now that I applied the information that Mary gave me today. So I'm going to switch back to desktop, and then we're going to go over to the web browser. Here is my Vmock dashboard, and you see how it says resume score is 95. It went up to 95. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to go to yeah, I want to be able to view the resume. Okay, I guess if I go to edit resume, it will show on the screen. Because I'm going to be showing you my resume, and you may wonder, how does this have a score of 95? Because I could not get it to be, the highest I had previously was 66, which was not really that good. But here we can see, hopefully you can see this, because I am, let me just double check. Yes, okay, I'm recording desktop mode. So this is my Vmock resume. And I want to explain the information. This is all supposed to be on one page. But right now I'm in the editor mode here. So you see Chastity White Rose, which is of course the name I go by, all over the internet. It is my pen name, my transgender preferred name, and the job title that my resume is based on is technical writer. A technical writer is somebody who writes information to share how to do things, information about technical details. For example, I published a chess book all about the game of chess, all the rules, how to improve, what websites to play on, all kinds of things, even managing a database. So my chess book was a perfect example of technical writing. So look it up on Amazon or your ebook retailers, for instance, Chastity's Chess Challenge. So you look that up. Please look that up. And so we see that I'm in Lee Summit. Now on a resume, you don't need to have your exact address. In fact, that could be a security risk. But knowing which town that you're in is relevant for people because they may be looking to hire people in a certain area. So if they know what city you live in, that's helpful. Now my phone number here is on my resume. Now you may think, well, Chastity, why would you have your phone number public on a Twitch live stream? Why would you do that? Here's why. Because if somebody wants information about my books, if somebody wants to be able to hire me for some job related to video production or teaching them chess or some writing related job, I want them to be able to contact me. Now, if somebody calls this phone number and harasses me and just calls me slurs and sends me death threats, well, then that's time to block their number and report them to the police. That's what it's time to do. And then my email address is no secret either. And then we have the link to my LinkedIn profile and my link tree. Now, interestingly, I'm not sure, are these links clickable? I don't think they're clickable exactly. I think that the email address is, yeah, interesting. Yeah, it is highlighted blue. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, the links are there. So if somebody types in those links, it will take them to my LinkedIn profile and also my link tree. So here's the summary, because I added it back to the resume. And it says, Chastity is a writer with a focus on making chess accessible to low-income people through free and open-source software. She uses words, video recordings, and graphic design to teach chess and other topics to as many people as possible. Now, here's my list of skills here. There are 6 skills listed. And in parentheses next to each one are the websites and or names of software that I use for those things. So with writing, I'm using tools such as Markdown, which is a language, Pandoc, which is a command line tool, LibreOffice, which is an alternative to Microsoft Word, and Joplin and Simplenote are both note-taking applications that are very helpful both on desktop and mobile phone. And Microsoft Word is still mentioned there because, yes, I have used Microsoft Word. I'm not as fluent in it as LibreOffice, but I can use it. And then chess teaching, and I mentioned some important things. Because Lichess and chess.com are the top 2 chess playing websites in the world, and En Passant and ChessX are both extremely helpful. They have a nice interface. They're very easy to use, and you can do database management with them. Graphic design, Inkscape, and GIMP. I know how to use them for basic edits, and of course my progress flag was designed in Inkscape, and you've seen it on the stream. So what does that tell you about my graphic design skills? I can do some pretty cool stuff in Inkscape. Video recording, OBS Studio, Zoom, and StreamYard. StreamYard I haven't used in a while. However, StreamYard is nice because it allows you to do live streamed remote interviews with people, which is especially helpful in today's online and remote world, because I'm mostly going to be working remote as a writer, trying to make money on the side outside of my job at Walmart. And of course, Audacity and Kdenlive are the best tools, and I've tried many of them. Audacity can edit any audio file and export it to many different formats. And Kdenlive is what I use to create like my lyric videos. I've used some other video editors, but Kdenlive is just the easiest to use, and I have experience with it. And when it comes to book publishing, we have Kindle Direct Publishing and Draft2Digital. That's because these are the two platforms I use to publish all of my books. Kindle Direct Publishing is, of course, by Amazon, the company, and Draft2Digital is the company that I publish my ebooks through, and then it ends up on Kobo and Apple Books and other retailers that I don't know about very much. Oh, and Smashwords. Can we talk about how Smashwords is actually the best ebook platform? I like Smashwords. It's very cool because it has so many free ebooks that you can read, including some of mine that are free on there. Now, I've already talked a lot about this resume, and that was just getting down to the skills. But now we have experience. Now, in this version of the resume, you see that I have not included my GameStop job. I have not included my GameStop job. I didn't include my nursing home job because I had to keep it short. So what we have is 3 jobs with 3 companies. We have Walmart, Hy-Vee, and Brilliant. And for each of these 3 jobs, we have 3 bullet points. And yes, I did do a theme of having 3. Like this, if you look at this whole resume, look at this. So notice that we have 2 rows of 3. We have, 6 here, 2 rows of 3 skills with details, and then we have 3 jobs, and each of those jobs has 3 bullet points, and they have the start and end date of the jobs. Of course, present because I still work for Walmart. And then education, we have Associate of Applied Science and Creative Writing. So Associate of Arts, and I graduate July 2025. So that's why it's a future date, but I'm almost graduated. Now for publications, I have only included 3 publications here because, once again, the theme is 3. So Chastity's Chess Chapters authored a 100-page paperback and ebook to train new and advanced chess players. And Chandler's Honesty authored a series of mental health conversations with a unicorn since 2017. The Elevator Debate composed a flash fiction story about a political disagreement between coworkers. That was actually published in Adelaide Magazine, and I can provide the link to it, but I'm not including that many links on my resume. So I have 3 publications, I have 3 jobs in my experience here, with 3 bullet points each. And this is interesting because notice on the right it has improvement. It has 3 improvement suggestions. First of all, it says review recommendation. Your community recommends to follow the below mentioned suggestions. Add academic experience in case of no work experience. But I do have work experience, therefore I don't think that applies. Students are recommended to add either a LinkedIn URL or any other URL or both, and I've already done that. So those are recommendations, but I basically don't need to think about those. So instead, we have this resume scored at 95 points. Now, it has suggestions here. Okay, wrote down floral, okay, yeah, so wrote down floral delivery orders, both in person and over the phone. Prepared these orders for pickup or delivery. Acted as cashier at floral register. So that bullet point was, that bullet point was a brief summary of the major thing I did in the floral, because if you look at these, first of all, look at this. So I stocked Health Market and the Health and Beauty department. And then I worked in floral quite a bit. And this is also part of floral. Sold items to customers, watered plants, and cleaned the shop before closing at 11 p.m. Now here's the thing. It wants me to add specifics. And what I'm going to do is, while I'm live here, I'm going to see if I can implement the suggestions. So like it has a sample bullet example, coordinated with fresh flower vendors to place orders, communicating with 60 plus customers and advertising products based on requirement. Planted arrangements of flowers on store grounds for display, improving sales by 30%. Now, of course, I didn't do all of that, but that's a sample bullet. So it says you have not added any specifics to showcase the impact scope of your work. Try to include quantification. Okay, I need to add numbers here. I need to add something. So let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna add. Okay, I'm going to regularly served over 100 customers on each Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Let's see here. In addition to our usual, let's see. Let me, I'm trying to think how I can write this, because I don't want it to sound like I only worked on those holidays. Okay, I know. Which were busier than the rest of the year. Okay. And it says bullshit with the period, so I'll end it with a period. Okay, now it's telling me I have overused and avoided. Okay, which well, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's see what happens if I cut that out and just go back to Mother's Day, do a period. It keeps it short. Okay, it keeps it short, and you have not overused any word in this bullet, and it doesn't include any filler words. So, okay, technically, if somebody looks at this, they will realize that I didn't just work on those holidays, that I worked, every day, but that those were days like that's underestimating how many customers we served on Valentine's Day and and Mother's Day, because we had entire trucks full of arrangements. Like there was probably 100 to 200 arrangements in the truck at any given time, and we kept selling them. The designers kept making them, and new things kept getting delivered that we processed. So it was, well, it's over 100. I could go 200, but I'll just stick with 100. But truth is, it was probably more than 100. It's probably more than 200, but it varies. So because I've included, a number there, now it's showing only 2 improvements left. So let's see here. Sorted incoming files and enter barcode number into the computer database managed by the Department of Homeland Security. Okay, yes, okay. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Maintained data entry quota of 450 files per hour. Yeah. Yes, okay. Because that was the standard. Well, actually, now that I think about it, now when I first started, the standard for how many files you had to scan into the computer system, that I forgot what they called it. Yeah, I forgot what they called it, but at least I'm using the correct terminology of what it actually was. But it was actually closer to 400 at the start, but then they raised it to 450, if my memory serves me correctly. Okay, so now, okay. Placed files on the shelves and kept locations recorded digitally and on paper. Let's see. Let's I'll do maintained quota of 160 files per hour. That's true. That's very true, because that was the exact quota for shelving. Now, there were months that were very good before my injury and before COVID that I got up to 200 files per hour. But the minimum quota the entire time I worked for Brilliant as a general clerk there at the National Records Center, the quota for shelving was 160. So that's correct. So now you have completed all improvement steps. Now you can rescore and download your resume. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rescore the resume. And it says I have 3 rescores left. I don't know why there are, I'm not quite sure why it has a limit on the number of rescores I can do. But wait, your resume has 2 pages, which is not meeting standard requirements. Wait a minute. Okay, so because I added a few more sentences to each of the bullet points, it caused it to go from 1 page to 2 pages. So here's what I need to do. First of all, we're going to change this at paperback and ebook to train new and advanced chess players. We're going to remove new and advanced, because we're going to be training chess players of all levels, but that reduces it by 1 line. Now let's look at the summary. Chastity is a writer with a focus on making chess accessible to low-income people through free and open source software. She uses words, video recordings, and graphic design to teach chess and other topics to as many people as possible. Okay, she uses words, video. Oh, wait. Why did it go there? Okay. She uses words, videos, and graphic design to teach chess and other topics is vague. Yeah, to teach chess and computer software. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Because most of my writing that I do is how to use software. Because that's what I do. Okay, so now I've reduced the size of the summary and I reduced one line here under publications. Okay, now I'm going to see if I'm going to try rescoring and I'm going to see if it works. Will it rescore correctly? Will it rescore as a one-page resume? Okay, resume uploaded successfully. Processing started. Nice. So it's updating. The resume is updating. I'm getting excited. I want to see what this turns into. I want to see if this is any good. I'm getting all excited here. 97? My score has gone up to 97. This is very good. Let's see. Express more competencies. Add phrases that depict your teamwork skills and refine the language. Use numbers, facts, and figures and omit overused words and fillers. View detailed feedback. Okay, let's see what this says. I want to see what this is about here. Let's see here. Good job using action-oriented. Yeah, okay, let's see. These are very good. These are very good. Let's see, specifics. Yeah, these are very good. Overusage. You have not avoided words. You have stayed away from using any fillers. So let's see. Competencies. Recruiters typically look out for certain core competencies in your resume. This module analyzes these competencies across your resume and gives feedback along with analytics and examples to help you make a better impression. Okay. Okay, what are teamwork skills? Experiences you can consider: service management, sales management, customer service management, supply management, administrative work. Interesting. I wonder, well, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I know that I'm gonna make some more edits in the future, but yeah, let's go back to the smart editor here, because now that I've gotten a score of 97, I'm going to download the resume. We're going to download a PDF file of the resume. Yeah, so okay, I'm going to download the resume. I have a very specific folder in Chastity's Resume Revolution. I have Vmock. So we have resume score 95. We're going to click that and we're going to change it to score 97 because we're going to have a new file that has a score of 97 while keeping the old PDF in case there's anything that I deleted from it that I need to reuse later for something. So resume score 97. There we go. We have a 97-point scoring resume. And then I'm also going to download it as a docx file, a Microsoft Word document. So during the course of this live stream, by rewording some things, adding and removing a few things, I was able to get my score from 95 to 97. And I gotta admit, people, That is very, very cool. That is very cool. Wow. Wow, man. That's good. This is good. This is some very, very good content here. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Now that I've done that, I'm going to exit out of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, Gracie. Okay. Gracie has been trying to use it. Okay. So, yeah, that Vmock paywall. Yeah. So let me go back to camera view. So here's the thing. Let's see here. Very helpful LinkedIn strategy. I like Pink. She's always been there for us, for everyone. And yeah, okay, yeah. Gracie has sent some links and stuff. So what's that URL for rescanning resumes? Other strategic gaming. Okay. Vmock paywall. So apparently Gracie tried to go to Vmock. Now, I have a student account because I'm a Full Sail student. So I signed in with my school credentials. But apparently people have to normally pay for a membership to use Vmock ordinarily. So I guess Gracie can't use Vmock to improve her resume like I did in this video. But if anything, this video was an accidental advertisement for Vmock. So if you want to have a good resume, maybe you should try, I don't know, signing up for a membership of Vmock. I don't know. I'll have to look more into that because I have access as a student. But the important thing is the general information that I'm sharing, and what that Mary Norris shared with me, will help you in writing your own resumes as well. So thank you very much for joining me for this video, but I'm not quite done yet. Not quite done yet because I have two resumes. The one from Vmock that you saw that I just downloaded, but then also there is a markdown written one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to desktop mode and then I'm going to update my markdown resume with the new info while it's fresh on my mind of what I changed in Vmock. And the two resume formats are not actually compatible. Like I literally had to copy paste the stuff into Vmock to get it to work. It works now and I have a score of 97. So now I'm going to take the improvements and I'm going to transfer them, copy them over to the original resume that I had started working on. So stay with me if you want to see some cool stuff. So I'm back in desktop mode here and I'm going to go to Chastity's resume revolution. So if I open this PDF file, this is a PDF of my resume. This one was one that I made. This is a 2-page resume. It's a 2-page resume, and it also has my video game publication, which the Vmock one does not include because I had to cut it down to 1 page. But my video game publications, which while my chess game is not complete, it still has work to be done, and will improve for the rest of my life. It's worth mentioning that yes, I'm good enough of a programmer that I made my own chess game to use for animations. But that's just the PDF. The PDF is not editable, but it has these links here. So what I'm about to show you, because this has like all of the same text for the skills, it's just laid out a little bit differently. So I'm going to go to the original file. Now, the original file here is Chastity Resume Revolution.md. I'm going to open this file. I'm going to open this file here. Okay, this is good. This is very good. And I'm just going to double check and make sure everything with OBS Studio is working. Yeah, there we are. I'm in desktop mode. Okay. This program here is called Ghostwriter. This program is called Ghostwriter. And you see on the left side, we have several different sections I can click. I have, for example, here is where I wrote big details about my Java Hy-Vee, much more in depth, paragraphs of details about my Java Hy-Vee that I used to have. Detailed stuff about the different software, what it's used for. This is very important information, but it can't fit into a single page resume. So, but this section right here where it says Chastity's resume, on the left side here, we see the actual text editing field. And this is pretty much, most of it's the same as the Vmock, but there are some things that need to be updated. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to open the 97 scoring PDF that I just downloaded from Vmock, and then we're going to copy the shortened summary from the PDF, and then we're going to paste that into the summary section here. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me see. Yep. Yeah, so it looks like it's about the wait. Okay, I'm gonna do It's barely shorter, just barely. Oh, and there needs to be a period. Apparently, the period did not copy correctly. All right. Now the skills are the same. The skills really are the same. Yeah, the skills are the same here, and the chess teaching is the same as in that. The graphic design is the same. Yep, we have OBS Studio, Zoom, StreamYard. Yeah, that's good. That's all good. All the information is the same there. The Full Sail University degree is the same. Now, now here's where what we want to do is there were certain elements on here, the bullet points. Okay, wrote down floral delivery orders both in person and over the phone. Okay, this is the one where I added the over 100 customers on Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. So I'm going to copy that section, and then we're going to put it as part of this bullet point. Yeah, so we're going to do this here because what you see here is that when you have a dash, okay, yeah, the formatting is funny. When you copy text from a PDF, it doesn't always go well. Yeah. So now what you see though is if we go right to here, we see that it is a bullet point. It is a bullet point here, where we have, because for the first bullet point is of course just what the job was, the dates. That's my first bullet point here. But then the second bullet point we just updated here is right here because their dash is on the left side, but then their bullet points on the right side. The right side is the preview pane. It converts the markdown on the left side into HTML on the right side. So you see that the for example, you can see if we go right to the top here, if we take away this pound sign, then Chastity's resume revolution is no longer big and bold. But when we put it back in, then it's big again because it's heading. If you keep adding these, you can make smaller and smaller headings until it freaks out. But this is a single pound sign is a level 1 heading, which is a major heading. And then underneath major headings are their subheadings. So we have under Chastity's resume, we have this thing about the job title, my pen name, legal name, all this stuff. So this is all very good, and we've copied over the information about the Hy-Vee job that was updated from the Vmock resume. So now here's what we're going to do. I remember that here I did, okay, this bullet point here I cannot seem to copy paste the text correctly from a PDF, but I'll get it. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do this. We're going to paste this, and then we're going to, yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got that bullet point updated. And then we're going to copy paste this bullet point right here. We're going to, wait, dang it. Doesn't want to, okay. I'm going to Control C, and then we're going to go here and we're going to Control V. So there we go. So now if I click here, you'll see that we have our bullet points of when the job started and ended, and we have the bullet points that are identical to how it was in Vmock. So obviously this resume is not just, it's a lot more than what is in Vmock, because if you keep scrolling down, you see that I have the software skills, detailing, what is Markdown. Markdown is a markup language that is an alternative to HTML. I have used it to save me time writing books and essays for school assignments. The strength of Markdown is that it does not depend on a specific software or operating systems, because it is a pure text language. So yeah, so this program, Ghostwriter, is only one tool. You can also use, Joplin, Simple Note, Dillinger. Like, there's a lot of programs that you can use with Markdown. But Ghostwriter is free and open source software, just so you know. So about Ghostwriter 2.1.6. So it was written by a weird turtle. It's a I am also deeply indebted to Wolf Volprecht, the author of Uberwriter, for the inspiration he provided in creating such a beautiful Markdown editing tool. So it was based off of Uberwriter, and that website no longer exists. So whoever made Ghostwriter based it off of Uberwriter. So yeah, but Ghostwriter is just very easy to use. I like it because I can edit the text. This middle panel here is just Notepad basically. But then on the right side, it shows them in bold. It can show very good details of everything. So yeah, this is good. Like, this is very high quality stuff. Book publications, yeah. Now, oh, and also, we need to change, because I made that small change, authored a 100 page paperback and ebook to train chess players. Because we're just going to make sure that it's verbatim exactly how it's said there. Yes, we're going to do that. So we just make sure that it's the same. Now, this is important. You may wonder, why am I copy pasting all these changes back to the original file? That's because the plain text document that you're seeing here on my screen, this is the original file. This is where I wrote everything down, and then I had to copy it into Vmock to get it to recognize it and then to rescore it. So, but as long as I keep this original file, then even if I lose access to Vmock and I end up using a different resume creation tool, if I have all the correct text, the AI of other systems will still grade it favorably. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this as, and we're going to save this as resume, because Chastity Resume Revolution is really a full book more about my resume, whereas just resume.md, we're going to only include the 2-page resume here. And then once it gets down to software skills, that's where we got to more than 2 pages. So then I'm going to delete all that. But this is a second copy of the file here. This is resume.md. So now, let me show you one more thing. I'm going to show you one more thing before I end the stream. It's very important I show you this. So now you can see, if we go to the folder Chastity Resume Revolution, you see that let's sort the files by date. You see that these two files were updated at 12:51 a.m. on June 3rd. Wait, June 3rd is the day when I started my job at Brilliant. That's ironic. What timing is that? It's the third day of Pride Month, people. Okay, so now we have the resume.md file. It's a plain text file, and if we just open it up in regular Notepad, it just looks like this. You don't see the formatting, you just see the plain text form of it. All the information is there. But how do we turn this into a PDF? Well, here's the trick, guys. So look at this. This is a make file. If I open this in Notepad, this is a make file I wrote. Now, if you don't know what a make file is, you're probably not a computer programmer. But it has two pandoc commands here. One converts that file into resumebook.odt, which is a LibreOffice file, and then the other one, it takes those two files and converts them into a format that LibreOffice understands. So we're going to right-click here, we're going to open in Terminal, and then we're just going to type make. We're going to type make, and then it converts those files. Now that it's converted those files, what we can do is we can see that resume.odt was updated here. This file was updated. So now we're opening this in LibreOffice. Remember, this is what I use instead of Microsoft Word. Like, this is very helpful. It's probably, in fact, this entire program was used for the entire process of writing most of my books originally. So, yeah, it has weird spell checker on and stuff, so it looks funky here. But it has all the correct sections. It has the correct sections. It even has page numbers for some reason, automatically. I didn't do that. And then we're going to go to File. Then we are going to export directly as PDF. That's what we're going to do. We're going to export that directly as a PDF file. And now that we have exported it as a PDF file, then wait a minute. Let me refresh it. Did it update it? Yes, resume.pdf is updated. So now we open this PDF file, and now you see it looks pretty much the same as it did before, but notice the summary has been shortened. It's been shortened to those 2 sentences. The bullet points have been copied over correctly, and now they show up in this new PDF. So guys, that's how it is. That's what I did basically. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm very proud that I have done this video, because this information, because all you're doing is you're watching me improve my resume. I know it's kind of boring, but you're watching me as I improve my resume using Vmock, the AI tool that my school lets me use, and then copying that information back over to my plain text file that I use for creating my resume. And Gracie says, thank you for doing this video. It's great information. You're welcome, Gracie. I hope to share more information. I'm a technical writer, but I'm also a technical speaker and a streamer. And here's the thing, that the resume that I made customized, I actually gave it to my store manager at Walmart. I actually gave it to my store manager at Walmart. I had a little meeting with the store manager, and I gave her the full 9-page document of Chastity's Resume Revolution, because it has my full work history, and including the paragraphs writing detailed little essays about what I did at those jobs that go beyond just the bullet points. And I did that because I'm trying to explain to the store manager that I'm a highly intelligent and educated individual and that I am eligible for promotion into a job that is more responsibility and higher pay. So yes, I took the PDF and put it on my USB drive that I bought at FedEx originally. Then I took it over to FedEx. I used the print machine, printed out multiple copies of it so that I bought folders and everything. My mom even gave me some paper clips. It was nice. It was very, very nice. Um, oh, huh. Gracie shared a link, said profile.indeed.com/resume. This was an automated service that would check ATS compatibility and offer suggestions and give a rating free. It doesn't seem to work anymore. Maybe it works in the app. I haven't tried it yet. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing that, Gracie, because I may want to try that out myself, you know, in case it still works in any way capacity. But there are many different tools for writing resumes. There's different AI tools for grading resumes. Vmock is only one. It's just the one that my school uses and promotes. So that's why I'm showing that in this video. So I recommend it because it works. But I can also try others because what if, let's say that Vmock likes it, but there's another AI tool that has improvement suggestions that Vmock doesn't. We don't know. I'm new to this resume creation stuff. So anyway, this video has gone on over an hour so far. And I'm in my final class. I'm in my final class now. It's Portfolio 3, my final class of creative writing, June 2025. And this is Pride Month. So once again, happy Pride Month, everyone. Stay strong, my people of the rainbow. I love you all. So stay tuned to my channel for future informational videos and possible chess playing. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all your comments, Gracie. I read all your comments, and I'm glad I was able to respond in real time. This is what I live for, people. I'm a writer and a gamer and a streamer, and I'm going to be communicating with the whole world. This video could not have turned out better, and you were a big part, Gracie. So thank you to my career coaches. Thank you to Full Sail University. Thank you to my mother for homeschooling me and teaching me how to read, which public school did not. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. That's right. Thank you, Honesty the Unicorn.